try that again. I'm just going to say hello and welcome, everyone. Oh, there we go. Sorry, everyone. My mic was not tuned correctly. Hello and welcome to a very important stream. We have the Slugs' own TheHarpDaddy here. Oh, it's not loaded properly for me here. Just give me a sec, guys. We're going to be right back. I just need to, I think... exit and rejoin. Anyway, I'll keep chatting away. So today on the Space Slugs Shatterpoint stream, we have Judge Assault versus Tom Harper, the TheHarpDaddy himself, Slug's own TheHarpDaddy. As I said, we have a near mirror match in this today. Tom is running Anakin Skywalker, shock horror. He's obviously been quite successful with it so far. He's been able to bring the Chosen One all the way through to the top 4, which is really impressive. Sorry, I'm just letting my TTS load. Just having a bit of dramas loading in some of the pieces here. Looks like it's loaded a little bit better for me this time. So just give it a sec while it loads in, and then, yeah, we will... Cool. All right, so let's come back to the main game here. So we have two squads here, both fairly similar. In fact, there's only one difference, and that is the Jedi Master Plo Koon. So we have the two squads here. We have Jedi Master Plo Koon, Padawan Ahsoka, or Pasoka, and the ARF Clone Troopers. A very good value clone trooper support unit. General Obi-Wan Kenobi, Captain Rex, Republic Clone Commandos on Judge Assault's side. You can see the deployment zones here. Pasoka really helps you keep an eye on which squad is where. On Tom's side, we have General Obi-Wan Kenobi, Padawan Ahsoka, Republic Clone Commandos. Yeah, I'm sure you're all starting to see a pattern here. We have General Anakin Skywalker, Captain Rex, and the ARF Clone Troopers. So the difference in the two squads is you'll see we have Plo Koon with Padawan Ahsoka and the ARF Troopers, whereas on Tom's side we have General Obi-Wan with Padawan Ahsoka and the Clone Commandos, and obviously Obi-Wan with Rex and the Clone Commandos, and Tom has opted to put Anakin with Rex and the ARF Troopers. It'll be really interesting to hear from Tom, and I'm sure we'll do a post-match discussion. We did get shifting priorities as well, important to note. With shifting priorities, that would mean that Judge Assault has the priority here as well. He's first player. So that's going to be really interesting to see. I do know that Tom, in discussion with me, we're both a slug. We're each a bit of a slug. So we were discussing strategy here. And I know Tom had said to me that he does not want Anakin up against Obi-Wan Kenobi. He really wants his Anakin across from Plo Koon. So Tom not getting that priority role, him being second player here, has already worked out to his benefit in terms of his initial strategy. Whether or not that strategy is going to actually carry him through, I'm not sure. We'll just have to wait and see. So it's a very aggressive start from Judge Assault, who I'm just going to call the Judge from now on, and we'll call the TheHarpDaddy Tom. So very aggressive start. He's used those Clone Commandos and their ascension cables to get up top, using spending a force and using the defensive maneuver to get up, and then just do a move, and I'm presuming also doing a take cover to get 2 hunker tokens. So I mean, the commandos can be very, very sticky, especially with that scale and getting up on top of elevation, giving them just a absolute defensive powerhouse when they need to be. And that protection as well will really help stave off any incoming damage. And let's not forget, they do also get brothers in arms. So there's a very high chance that they're just not going to get moved. Tom is lacking a little bit of out of combat displacement. I'm just trying to see if I've missed anything, but I don't think so. So sorry, Tom has Shatterpointed here, and surprisingly, not surprisingly, sorry, I believe he's probably Shatterpointing Rex here. That's the model that he's... Yeah, so he's Shatterpointing Rex. He's used Rex's his start of activation ability, Get a Move On Soldier, to give General Anakin Skywalker a hunker token. I'm guessing, given he's done that he's not expecting to use Anakin for much of the early game here, which makes a lot of sense. But that is something you can see, you know, into your opponent's thinking here when he's giving Anakin Skywalker a hunker token for free. You want to get the most value out of that hunker token, and it's going to disappear when Anakin activates. So if he's got it now, you'd assume, to maximize value, he's probably not going to activate Anakin anytime soon. Bit obvious, obviously. That is a pretty obvious strategy for a lot of people, but you're trying to think, well, where's his priority sitting? Who does he not want to activate? And you could presume it'd be Anakin, but at the same time, now we have a little bit more evidence in that favor. So I think it's a little telling from Tom. I don't think it's a bad play. Interesting that he's played out the Shatterpoint. I think what that tells you is that Tom is very force sensitive. Is the word I was going to use there, but it's true. He's going to be very conservative with that force. It's a bad draw, Shatterpoint on turn on first activation, but it shows where Tom's head is at, and he believes strongly that he is going to need to keep this force for his Anakin turn, for the ARFs, for Padawan Ahsoka. She can be a little force hungry. And speaking of Padawan Ahsoka, we have Judge's Padawan Ahsoka coming in. So she's taken cover. She's got a hunker token, and he's going aggressive. He's doing a good play here. He's going for the points. He's already got 2 objectives locked down, and this is going to be his 3rd. So that will bring the momentum, that will bring the scoring onto his side now. Tom immediately draws Captain Rex. I don't think that's not bad. I think getting Captain Rex somewhere central early is good, given you can I'm always first kid, given Padawan Ahsoka has things like Racia, so having him in the center. Where am I thinking that? Where am I thinking that the two of them want to be friends? Well, maybe they don't. I think that's fine. I'm always first kid is very helpful and can be used, given that the dash off I'm always first kid is not directional. You just get to take it. So it's good to keep the clones somewhere around the center, keep them nearby. Tom's decision tree here is, and I think that's good. I think bring up the ARFs, give them an ability, give them a chance to just bum rush the center and take this off Padawan Ahsoka in future is probably good. I'm just going to turn this so I'm not always looking from Tom's perspective, because sometimes he has the wrong perspective. This is a good decision, I believe. He's going to go for the shot first, but it looks like, depending on what he can pull here, if we're looking at an average of 3, he can get Padawan Ahsoka off that center point. Does he want Rex sitting in the center point? Not sure. So I'll just bring this into view for us all here. So Thomas hit 1 critical, 1 success, 2 a pretty decent roll actually from both parties here. Rex has a very good combat tree. Not at 2 though. 3 is where it sings really nicely. So he's actually sitting on 3 successes and 1 critical. And Padawan Ahsoka, who just loves this, she's sitting on 5. So he's just going to get the 1 crit through, which seems about right for Padawan Ahsoka, being hunkered up top there. She's just going to take the 2 damage. Yeah, just the 2 damage. Not going to go for the push. I don't think he'd get her off the elevation anyway. So he just goes for a bit of a kick shot, tries to put some damage in, and then he's going to run away and take that right-hand side objective, I would say, which is a very good strategy. There's no point fighting for, in the first struggle, I believe that points are priority. There was no harm in taking that shot there. Definitely no harm in taking the shot. Thomas finally spent his first force also. So just give me 1 second, in case anyone's chin wagging in the chat. I think I'm having a bit of trouble. Maybe not. No one's saying nothing. Let me just test. I'm going to say hey everyone, so if you feel like jumping in the chat. If you are watching on YouTube, we obviously upload all of our VODs here on YouTube. So that is for free as well, free of charge. All we ask is you drop a like, you subscribe, consider subscribing, and also, if you wouldn't mind, just let us know what you think. We have our free Discord that we have very recently launched. We also have episode 0 of our podcast. Oh, hi, Duralva. Nice to hear from you. Thank you very much. It is working. My chat in OBS is working, so that's a positive. I'd love to hear what people think so far. It's only been, this is the fourth activation. Very interested to see how people are feeling about the positioning here. I'm definitely, if you look in terms of where the actual miniatures are placed. Oh, sorry, I should also mention we're on Plo Koon here, who I've personally not seen much of. So I'm very excited to see him in play here. I did do a test game against Tom using this exact same list for obvious reasons. So this is Plo Koon into Captain Rex. Decent roll from one side of the party, but a not too great roll from Tom over there. So we're looking at... I believe Rex is just wearing phase 1 clone armor, so he doesn't actually have the best. He gets 1 block, and we're looking at 4 successes on, which is ding, 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 ding. That is exactly what you want with Plo Koon. That's why you bring Plo Koon. You want 4 successes on your tree. I would suggest we're looking at a pin, a push, 3 damage, and a force push for free. So... even, I mean, if we, as I was saying beforehand, even if before this incredible force push from Plo Koon, bringing his value, if you just look at where the miniatures are positioned, the models are positioned, Judge is being more aggressive. He's getting up there. He's taking a lot of these points. So just recap, we've got 7 damage on Rex now, and I think there was a pin. But it doesn't seem like it's loading for me. So we'll have to just wait and see. But I believe that was a pin on Rex. No, sorry. Here we go. So what the TheHarpDaddy's opted to do is spend using Obi-Wan Kenobi's ability, knowledge and defense. He has spent all of his hunker tokens, and he has allowed himself to heal twice and do a dash. And he's just brought Captain Rex back in to contest that point, I believe. So yeah, really, it was definitely a good Plo Koon play there from Judge. And Tom gets Padawan Ahsoka, puts her in reserve, then draws Obi-Wan Kenobi and is going to, or maybe Padawan Ahsoka was already in reserve. Sorry, he's going to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Thanks, Musketeer. Everyone has such fun names. I will try and keep an eye on chat. It's just in a really awkward position on my... Let me see if I can pop it out. Nope. I'm just going to pop it. So it has been a while since I have actually streamed. Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on the game. I hope everyone can see just fine. So we have done a Obi-Wan Kenobi. So he's jumped. He was over here. He's jumped. There wasn't really anyone to heal on this bottom side for Tom here. But he has then gone with the ARF Troopers, which I think is about time. It's good. It's a good time for the ARF Troopers to come in. The thing with Plo Koon is his defense tree in Form 5 GMSO is incredibly good. Especially when it's got a hunker token to try and gain those extra defense dice, because the more defense dice he has, the higher chance he has of hitting that 3 or 4 expertise, which just makes him an absolute monster to try and take down. That heal can be very pivotal if you don't get him in one shot, and that jump, it's just such a pain. So looking really good for Judge here so far, I believe. He's crawling away with the points. Sorry, it is locked in. No, he is crawling away with the points. Sorry, he has 3 versus TheHarpDaddy's 2. Sorry, just a bit of silence for a second. I'm just mixing a drink. It's a non-alcoholic drink, but I am mixing it. So Tom did a nice little ping on his Rex. That was because he knows the pain. He knows the pain of streaming. So he has healed one off of Rex thanks to Rex's ability with getting a hunger token, getting a heal if you're a clone trooper. So he's been able to heal one off Rex because this clone ARF was close enough. So we now have an ARF into Pasoka. So very average, very decent roll there for the TheHarpDaddy. And a very good roll there. The 3 on Pasoka feels pretty spicy. Yep, that's a 2 damage and 2 blocks and a jump. So she'll be blocking only a 3, which does give... Sorry, I'm just going to double check all these. So I think we're getting 2 through with the ARFs, which you can't complain about. The only problem is... the pin. The pin will be very pivotal there. Can he get her out of the range 2? No. No. So he's got to set up for next time. He does stop the jump, though. He does stop the jump, which is really important. I mean, I love the ARF troopers. I just love them. Pin and a damage for 1 success. Yes, please. Please and thank you. So she'll clear that pin, so she won't. It won't stick. Yep, decently average roll and decently average roll. So it looks like that's going to be a very... that has worked out much better for Tom this time, though. So we've got 4 blocks, 4 successes, and the 2 crits will go through. Actually, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same, but no jump this time. So that pin is going to stick, and she is off of that point. She is gone. I do believe he has already defensive maneuvered with the ARF clone troopers. If he hasn't, he definitely has. He obviously has a very good climb up this elevation and just take this off of Judge. What is this about? What is this about? What's this about? Where does that come from? If anyone in the chat is aware of where that move from Pasoka might have come from. Yeah, not sure how that one worked. She was pinned and she only rolled 2 expertise. So I'm probably missing something here. Oh, sorry. She spent... See? She spent knowledge and defense. It's such a sneaky little ability. It's so sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. So, TheHarpDaddy's gotten one of those ARF troopers. Sorry, not ARF troopers. Captain Rex up onto that elevation there. Looking to... from... This is, yeah, very, very good play here from Thomas, like he's done it before. I'm always first kid. So that gives Captain Rex the ability to do a dash, climb up top, and make an attack. So he does get to make an attack. I think Tom here is just checking to see whether a climb is going to work for the ARF troopers. So it's a 5 dice attack from Rex. Oh, we get another jump in from Pasoka. Pretty decent roll from both of them. Pretty average. So 3 on the expertise tree we know is 2 plus jump for Ahsoka. So there's going to be 4 blocks. 1 from Rex, I believe, is 2 hits. Yep. So we're looking at 5 hits and a crit. We're going to block, so it's going to be 2 successes through for Rexy boy. Tom knows he's not going to be able to keep Pasoka out of... I think he'll just kill her, right? How much damage did she need left? She had 6, 2... Yeah, so he'll actually just kill her with 2 pushes and the damage, and then he'll take that middle point. I'm wondering if he will, and he most likely will, send an ARF trooper over to reinforce that top side. And suddenly, things look a little clearer for the TheHarpDaddy. In the deck for Judge, though, we still have Captain Rex, his own Captain Rex. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi, And I do believe we have the ARF clone troopers as well. They are yet to activate. So yeah, that is a wound on the table. A wound on Pasoka. See, that sort of... It's expected when you put someone in the center of the board, you're most likely going to... you are most likely going to suffer the consequences of that decision. But that's... You weigh up those costs, right? You weigh that up and you say, yeah, I'll go for it. So Tom is looking to reinforce this center point. So shifting priorities, it's important to note, in shifting priorities, if my memory serves, the center is not active in the second struggle. We get an Obi-Wan draw. He goes straight into reserve, and we're going to get an Obi-Wan Kenobi jump. A jumpy one Kenobi, if you will, please. Please do. So one thing that, if you're getting sick of my voice, I would recommend jumping into our Discord and having a poke around, or even better, jumping on our podcast and just having a squiz at our podcast. We've launched the episode 0. It's both Tom and I just having a bit of a gab, having a chat about the slugs, space slugs, and what our plans are, and what we're going to be doing with the podcast, with the stream, with the YouTube. Really great. We've had a lot of really good feedback from everyone. It's been really exciting. We're pumped to bring you episode 1. It's coming very soon. Very, very soon, in fact. So please subscribe to the YouTube. Give us a follow here. Jump on the Discord. You'll get notified when the podcast goes live. And then you can give us feedback too. That's one of the things that we're really, really excited about, is getting feedback from everyone. So please don't hesitate. I mean, if you're going to be mean about it, probably just leave us alone. But if you're going to give us some nice constructive feedback, that would be lovely. But back to the game at hand here. We have the one and only, as in the one of two on the board right now. Captain Rex is coming in, and he is going to just punch. He's going to punch an ARF. Oh, he's going to shoot. So the interesting... Okay, no, but he has that ARF. Sorry, I was thinking about the coordinated fire here. So we've got a coordinated fire into Rex, and Rex is exposed. So any of these may as well be blanks. So he gets one block. That's the power of those ARFs. I feel like you just have to knock them down ASAP and early. So that's going to be 2, I think is an extra 2. Is that right? Yeah. So we're looking at 4 successes going through. And we've just gone for damage. Thank you, Muscuta, for the follow. That's very lovely. Thank you so much. I hope that notification came through with that weird hello there. Yes, it was hello there. That's new too. Just set that up the other day. How good. So that looks very nice. A wound on Rex. Very good. Very, very good for Judge there. That puts him in a really, really good spot now that Rex is just not part of the game anymore. And then obviously we're going to see... I don't think he's going to do a follow-up, of course. He's trying to get Rex within range 2 of this top objective here. And I admire the attempt, but I don't think he's going to quite get there. So, although... What was that for? Spent 2 force. Oh, right, sure. He hadn't defensive maneuvered yet. Sorry, yeah. So he did his start of activation maneuver, dash. Then he did his full move. Then another dash. Interesting. Well, on the TheHarpDaddy side, we got the ARF Troopers, which he is probably pretty happy to... Oh, the ARF Troopers. Well, no, it can't be the ARF Troopers. No, that's who he activated last time. So he's I think now the debate is whether or not he wants to activate Obi-Wan Kenobi. Is that right? because the ARF troopers did activate. So where are you from, Duralva? And I really hope... I feel like it's okay if you mispronounce people's usernames, unless it's your actual name, in which case I apologise. But where are you coming from? I'm assuming you're Aussie, given you're happy to have an Aussie podcast I listen to, unless you just like the dulcet sounds of our drolling accent. So we've gone with an Obi-Wan Kenobi activation here. I think what Tom needs to do, it's a bit of a tall ask, and you know, Judge has set up really well over here. We haven't had Pasoka or the Republic Commandos activation. There's been a lot of battling in the mid and top sections here, which has definitely caused... Oh, so we have Obi-Wan Kenobi is going in on these command troopers, clone commandos. It's a big bang, bang, bang. 10 dice. Should get a lot of results here. So 1 and 3 from the commandos. So, it doesn't add... It only adds 1 more block, but it does give them that reposition, which could be very, very strong if Tom isn't able to get 7 damage in. And of course, I say 7 because the commandos do rock protection. But it looks like Tom's going to get pretty much his entire tree here. Oh yeah, he's going to get the whole tree. So those clone commandos are going to die. They're going to get nearly every token known to mankind. And presumably, at this point, you use knowledge and defense. Melbourne, your Luke in the Discord actually got done in by Tom in the last round of this league. Fair enough. Tom does me in like every time I play him. He's pretty mean, actually. So, yeah, Tom is just sending this clone commando to the Shadow Realm. They have a reposition though, so he can come back in. That's not really much of an issue, but they are out. They are wounded now, so they're no longer contesting this bottom. So I think Tom's going to feel pretty good about this bottom section here, this southern middle objective. That is until the other Obi-Wan activates. But then at the same time, Obi-Wan v Obi-Wan, it's a bit of a slap fight, really, isn't it? I mean, they both have great defense, decent offense. But there we go. That reposition going for a climb, thanks to scale. Really strong ability. But it does put Tom sort of nudging this back in his direction now. But it's currently feeling like Judge has a bit of the momentum here. Not literally. Tom has more momentum. But here we go. We've got an Obi-Wan activation. He's brought Obi-Wan in. And Obi is going to go Obi v Obi. So we'll see how accurate my slap fight prediction was. So the form he's in now, he's looking for that push. Tom is sitting in form for Ataru. So he's going to be blocking some crits. Turning off some crits, sorry. Curious to see if he'll stay. I'm going to assume, yep. So he's staying in that. We probably got a 10 dice. Yep, 10 dice v 6 dice. It's going to be a nice juicy roll, most likely from Judge. And yes, that is a juicy roll. Only 1 expertise from our Tommy-1 Kenobi, which is still like, it's just aces. You're turning off a crit and you're adding a defense. So one of those 0 crits. What happened? Something went a bit awry. Okay, it looks like it didn't load for us. Unless something got changed. So I'm not sure exactly how many successes. I don't think it was a full tree. Maybe someone noticed. I'm sure we saw the full results and then something's changed. Yeah, it looks like... So we will get a bit of a slap fight. I don't know how much damage he's getting in. Oh, maybe up to 5 damage. It feels like he had probably about 3 successes. I mean, that's roughly the average anyway. So yeah, as I was saying, I get the sense Judge has had a bit more control during this first struggle. He's just had a little bit better board positioning, just in terms of the actual space he's taking up. He's brought a lot of his models forward, whereas Tom has really tried to, and I think that's how I like to play clones myself. I like to keep them back and just sort of advance to push someone off and then move up and just move up far enough to take it. But I mean, we've got Padawan Ahsoka here she's on the opponent's side here. Oh, we get Anakin Skywalker. So here's the difference. I feel earlier we saw Plo Koon try and do his thing and bring his value, and he didn't quite, because he actually didn't end up taking this objective after pushing Rex back. So looks like it's going into Captain Rex. So 2 and 2, I think, just gives him 3 blocks, 4 expertise on Annie's tree, gives you 3 crits. So it looks like we're just getting those 3 crits through, if I'm looking at this correctly, which is just going to be 7 damage and a strain. Nope. What am I doing? Where'd that come from? Where'd the pin come from? Oh, I'm sorry. He was exposed. So he only got the 2 blocks. So we did get an extra one sneak in through there. And we went for the pin. And that is not yet wounded. Oh, so close. Yeah, that was 5, 7, 8. 1 off. I think the question is here. Yep, no, that's a good play. He spends the... where's that come from? Did he have... I'm assuming he had the Hunker token. He healed the disarm and the pin and has run away, so that Tom could not use the... This is where the fun begins. Sorry, I'm going to end this, which he did say Force 4. So you can see, as I said, Tom was very reserved with his Force play early on, and you can see why he wanted to keep those two Force active for when Anakin activates and goes for it. So again, the 2 difference pieces, right? We're looking at this from the perspective of pure value. Did Jedi Master Plo Koon or General Anakin Skywalker bring more value? Because that's pretty much, other than the player skill, which is of course a factor, the actual list we have to look at and say, what are the differences? There's a little bit of difference in the makeup of the squads, but the big piece that is very different is we have Skywalker, the Chosen One, and Plo Koon, the Master. And which one of them is going to bring more value? I think that makes a big difference. We're abandoning, at least from an elevation perspective, we are abandoning that top right from Judge's side. He does draw Shatterpoint, and I'm wondering who he's Shatterpointed. He probably Shatterpointed the Clone Troopers, the ARFs. My apologies. Looks like he's setting up for possible failure, but just future-proofing. There's a really good positioning. That's the sort of thing you really want to be thinking about, and that's the sort of thing I would expect here in a top 4 game, is that these guys are thinking ahead. Okay, we've got another struggle after this one. Just because you win the first struggle doesn't mean that, the game's over. He's thinking ahead here. He wants that Clone Trooper to be in play in the center here, giving out those the exposers, exposing people all around, but also he wants to make sure that he's in a position to just immediately take that middle point there when push comes to shove in struggle 2. So we've got these ARF troopers activating. No, sorry. It is Plo Koon activating, and he has done I know if we work together, we will stay alive. So Plo Koon now presumably going into either Anakin or the ARFs. I would probably go into the ARFs if I was Judge, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's wrong. So if he's rolled 5, that would mean that we are in fact going into the ARFs, which is, I think, the correct play. You really want to take those guys off the board, and they are just so painful. No, we're going into... It was into Annie, sorry. He rolled 5 defense for Annie. Oh, no, sorry. No, he did go into the arfs. He got the 4 successes. We talked about this. 4 successes, get a free push, do the push. And that is what he's done now. And that is where the real value of Plo Koon is, right? That's what he's here to do. He is here to get 4 successes on his tree and push some idiots away. And he didn't quite... I don't think he would have quite gotten... No, he would have. 6. Yeah, he would have had enough to wound these arfs as well, so... So he knows, because his Rex is still alive and within 2 of that objective, Plo Koon can now run, take this middle objective, because the arfs have been wounded. Really great play. That was a big, big play, and probably cements Judge for a victory in this phase. We've got 1, and then he will score 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's a victory. I think that wins him the struggle here. That was a brilliant play, and I think there we're seeing the difference. Okay, we're seeing the difference between Anakin and Plo Koon and who's bringing more value. Currently, we can very safely say Plo Koon has brought more value. That was a 2-point swing, just off 1 activation. Very powerful. So there's a bit of a discussion going on with the guys here, but I think Tom spent a Hunker token to just move the Clone Trooper. So very good. So really, congratulations to Judge there. Brilliant playing. He's going to take the struggle there, I believe. And we get... No, so he doesn't take it. Doesn't take it. I think they'd already added the momentum from wounding the ARF. They'd already added it, sorry. But Judge is looking pretty good. I think I'd be putting my money on Judge for this first struggle anyway. So Tom's plan now, most likely, set up for struggle 2. He's going to get the option. He's going to get to choose. Tom, something I know about Tom is he's a bit of a mega brain when it comes to the Shatterpoint cards. What are these cards called? You know, these ones. the ones with the pretty dots on them. He knows how they work, and he knows roughly where they're all going to be. He did a lot of work studying that early on, so I suspect now he's thinking, where can I put myself to automatically take 3? He knows center objective is never active on struggle 2. It's never active. I should say as well, sorry, the decisions he's thinking of now are, what do I do with my clone commandos? How do I position them to better set me up for struggle 2? If I'm Judge, I'm feeling pretty good here. I've got 2 wounds. My opponent has 2 wounds. We have a secondary and a support, and a secondary and support. But he's sitting at a very nice board presence. And he's done really great with his clone troopers. I'm really impressed. His positioning has been very much so, I want to use their expose, but I don't want to expose them. So he's kept them back far enough that anyone who's advanced forward is not going to get to use expertise on defense, which has been really powerful. It's been very, very strong for him. Tom has pretty much done the same thing, but his ARF troopers have been doing more of and it's mostly because he drew them earlier, but they've had to do a lot of more point scoring, whereas the ARF troopers on Judge's side have been able to do a little bit more support, right? A little bit more of, I'm going to turn off your defense dice, or I'm going to turn off your defense expertise, stuff like that. So I think it's looking very good for Judge. He's obviously going to win this unless some by the force miracle happens for the TheHarpDaddy here, but that doesn't count anyone out yet. As I said before, you don't just win 1 struggle, the game's over. You've got to win 2. So Commando's going into Pasoka. Commando's going into Plo Koon, it seems. We've had no force spend, so we're not adding an expose here, which I may have considered doing. So, 5. Oh, I mean, it would have been worth it now in hindsight, but that is really strong there for... So that's adding 2, turning off a crit, and downgrading another crit. And that's a big roll. But looks like maybe there was a mistake. Looks like maybe we're going for a reroll. Where did the 2 damage on the clone troopers come from? On the commandos? Maybe I'm insane. Oh, sorry, that was deflect. Deflect, yes. Deflect. Of course. And we're still pumping into Plo Koon. We're getting another deflect on. 2 this time only. That just adds 2 more. He takes them away so quick. I don't have time to think. So I think it was 2 blocks, right? So another 2 blocks, so 4 blocks. So just the 2 crits going through and a damage. No, 3 crits. So it should be 3 crits going through, which feels pretty good. You get a pin, a strain. Definitely would be going for that strain. Oh, he spends the hunker tokens to clear off the pin and the strain. Very good. So pretty much not a very fair trade. We have 2 damage into the clone commandos, and Plo Koon is laughing and sitting there. With 3 damage. So 2 damage into the clone commandos and 3 damage into Plo Koon. Not quite a fair trade, really, especially when you're the one making the combat action. I love Deflect. It's such a spicy ability. So Tom is really just setting up here, knowing that there's really not a huge amount of points. A huge amount of purpose. Yep. So we've healed 1 off the clone commandos by gaining a hunker token thanks to Rex. See, Tom knows what it's like. He's doing all the pinging. He's very helpful. And here we have the ARFs finally coming into play here. I mean, he's positioned them so well, in fact. I'm probably... I mean, you need to make an attack. Yeah, I guess that's the hardest part, is you're not quite in range to really shoot anyone. And you can... These are the last cut too. So yeah, no, there's actually a brilliant position play here for Judge. So what he's going to do is he's going to bring these ARF troopers forward, take some shooties, try and put some damage in, and then he is going to... defensive maneuver and bring himself back into that same position he was in, because it was a really good position for both of them to be in heading into struggle 2. So we're going big gunshots here into the clone commandos. So I'm going to quickly do Judges first because he loves ripping those dice away. Alright, so 3 expertise, 1 hit, 1 crit, 2 fails. So 3 expertise, 3 expertise, 3 expertise. It gives us a crit and a hit. So we get 2 crits, 2 hits. 5, which just gives you 1 in a reposition, which is really good for Tom here because he knows we're going to go into struggle 2 now. He can actually get one of that commando. Maybe, oh no, not even, he can't. You can clear that pin though. So he takes a damage, clears the pin via the expertise tree, and now we've got another shot into the clone commandos. I was on mute. My apologies. I'm hearing an echo of myself, which is not good. Right, you'll have to excuse me. I've got to try and figure out why I'm hearing an echo of myself. But welcome back, everyone. I sincerely apologise. My laptop decided to just have a bit of a poo and died. So I've resuscitated it, given mouth to mouth. We're back. I'm slowly loading back in again, so I'm just going to leave you on the Be Right Back screen. Sorry, those on YouTube. I've decided to just cut most of this out. But I do have a horrid echo, and I'm not sure where that's coming from. But you'll just bear with me. I'm going to bring us back to the game as soon as it's ready and loaded up, while I try and fiddle with this this little thing here. Okay? Thanks, everyone. Hello there. Welcome back. Sorry, thank you, Gaming Dad. The Wargaming Dad. Sorry, thanks, Dad. Thanks for being back. We did have a bit of a technical error here. Not going to name names. I am going to name my computer though. My computer did do me dirty. So just give me 1 to 2 seconds, please, and we will be back into the game, and I will quickly figure out what's going on. So welcome back, everyone. Here we are. We've had a bit of a problem here. I'm a little too... I need to readjust the actual game setting, so please, once again, bear with me. I think we did have the struggle go to our good friend Judge, so I'll update that very quickly. Yes, we had one go to Judge. So Judge taking struggle 1. Tom got to choose and has chosen that middle and then the 2 right-hand side ones here that we can see on the screen. Just have to bear with me as I fix up a little bit of housekeeping here after the crash. Horrid crash that it was. This will be a bit... Look at that. Tiny. It's a baby. It's a little baby. It's a little baby TTS. And now it is the big real TTS. Welcome back. Welcome back, one and all, to Shatterpoint. So, updates on the board as we're moving into struggle 2 here. So Tom has taken turn 1 on struggle 1. Can't quite tell you what he activated because he has now refreshed his deck. It looks, if I had to hazard a guess, it was Padawan Ahsoka. Sorry, yep, she was one of the last ones to move. So she's come in now up this side here, which is the active side. I'll just spin this around. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi has leapt into the fray and is going for the Republic Clone Commandos. Yeah, they do not love being in melee. He only needs 3 damage to go through, so pretty likely that Judge will get. So if I'm hiccuping, it's because I ate a chili just on its own at a Thai restaurant not 1 hour ago, and it is repeating. It is repeating. So that is a really, really, really good opening. Tom was able to bring the struggle tracker 3 onto his side in that first activation, so really powerful. He obviously got the where is that? The priority's up the back there for so top there. So looks good for the Judge on this turn. Looking real spicy for Judge. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I did that. So, yeah, back into the center. We've got momentum on both sides now, but we did get a wound. Checking for the priority. Back 1 again. Unfortunate for Tom. Really, really, really wanted it. Well, I mean, Ahsoka can very easily go and take that. That's not really a huge issue. Tom does comfortably have... Oh, but he doesn't have that back point. He does have this point here, which we can see. Padawan Ahsoka's ability here, Racia, giving a Jedi or Galactic Republic primary units a dash, brings Obi-Wan in. Obi-Wan's getting ready to go Obi-Wan v Obi-Wan here. There's a lot of fanfic out there, I think, on Obi-Wan v Obi-Wan. So Ahsoka's not engaged, which is really lucky for her in this instance because it allows her to get her full maneuver and go and try and take this back, this top one here. Tom is on the back foot. What are we looking at? We're pointing at the ARF clone troopers. Why are we pointing at the ARF clone troopers? We're going for an attack into the ARF clone troopers. We're going to move and attack them. Well, that's Captain Rex. I would presume Ahsoka is coming up, attacking the clone trooper. Probably going to go for a bit of a pushy push. Allow him to advance, do a jump, take this back point, score 3, keep the struggle tracker in his favour. With shifting priorities, it does seem to be how it plays out a lot of the time. Just on average, it is... Oh, okay, so Tom did a... She did a take cover, gaining a hunker, and has now dashed through He's not going to go for the attack. I guess they're not wounded. So here's a really interesting point, and it's something that I've clearly missed. And good morning, Giza UK. Good to have you here, my friend. South Coast UK. I was in the UK back in April, but I was up in North Yorkshire. What I was alluding to here is my monkey brain tells me, ooh, make attack, hit half clone trooper, yum yum, ouchie, you take that. But there's no chance of him killing that half clone trooper. And what Judge can do is spend that hunker token and move the half clone trooper up and stop Tom from actually taking that objective, and he would then keep it. So Tom does not have a monkey brain, unlike his co-host here. So we have drawn Plo Koon. So it feels so good when you refresh and you bring out your big hitter again. We are once again going to see the power of Plo Koon. These ARFs, they are wounded. So at the moment it's just Anakin who is holding this point together. Judge is doing a bit of moving as we're checking stuff. So Plo hedging his bets here. Maybe hedging his bets. So he's definitely in contesting for this top one here. Plo is most likely going for the arcs just because he wants that free push, right? You'd rather attack a wall and get nothing than you'd rather attack a wall, get 4 successes and get your free push than put any sort of effort into Anakin Skywalker and possibly not get it because he's just got a really great defense. So it looks as though with 2 on Plo Koon, that's just another 2, so that's a 4 total successes. And with 2 and 2, I believe that's 4 blocks. So it's probably a nothing. No, it's 1 success. 1 success for Plo, which is just 2 damage, which the ARF troopers cannot take because they are wounded anyway. So a bit of a nothing burger there, bit of a wasted action. So we're just going to spend the 2 force and say, hey, Padawan Ahsoka, bugger off. What do you reckon? What do you reckon about going away? So really great. I think we can say safely so far that Plo Koon has brought far more value than Anakin Skywalker, but we have to give it up to Tom. He has ridden the Chosen One, who some would say has been chosen to not be very effective in this game. He's ridden the Chosen One very far. It's a top 4, in fact, of a very competitive league, I must say. So we've rolled priority. We've rolled 1 fail, which for those of you playing at home, which none of you are, it's these 2 guys, they're playing. We have this one here on the left, which is not really what Tom needs, but he can collapse in. He can take that. At the moment, we've just had Padawan Ahsoka and Anakin Skywalker, so most of the menu still available to Tom, including Shatterpoint. Sorry, he drew Anakin Skywalker and has put him into reserve, and we've drawn Obi-Wan, which I think... I was going to say, I wonder if you do this, but I think you do because, this is brilliant. You know, Obi-Wan now, clean. He's got his clean record, and he gets to come in now, and pretty much Tom just needs a clone commando, a Captain Rex. Doesn't matter. He's taking that back point. So that feels very good for Tom. He's put Anakin Skywalker on the bottom and has drawn the ARFs, which is... it's not too bad. That's pretty good. As I said, he just needed to draw a clone trooper, really. And we have the ARF troopers back on board. So that definitely feels really good for Tom here. I think the only one that would have been bad... None, really. I think everyone was okay here. Rex, because he had both of his supporting units wounded. But suddenly, things look pretty nice for Judge still. We've got 3 wounds on the TheHarpDaddy side versus 2. 2 wounds and an injury, I should say. So I think Tom's strategy now is really just... You've just got to... I think the favour is towards him as long as he can keep capturing so he didn't take that back point. Okay. Punchy, punchy. So this is just a punch into Plo Koon. I wonder... Yeah, I mean, you're not really at much of a risk here of a punch, in a punch-up, sorry. So there's no crits to readjust, so we're just adding 2. Because I believe these guys just added in. So I think it just did nothing. And here we're doing a shot. I did miss where he pinged. They love pressing that button, don't they? You just hear it. Click, 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 click. Really good shot here. Who did we shoot? I think he shot into Rex. It looks like he shot into Rex because it looks like they're now debating whether or not Rex is dead. He's KIA. Rex is who I would shoot personally, but each to their own. So what did they get? They got 6 and an expertise, which makes it 7. So 7 versus 4 blocks is 3 successes, which is pin, push, expose, and 3 damage, which is enough to wound old Captain Rex. So there's that 3rd wound that Tom was looking for to try and even the odds. And he pushed Rexy back away. So now he gets to come, bringing the ARF troopers back to reinforce his left side here and take this one from Obi-Wan. So that Obi draw here on the order deck, big, because it meant that Tom didn't need to fully commit more troops down here, and he did not need to attack Obi-Wan. So really, really great turn of events there for Tom, and really well played too, putting Obi in reserve, not just doing for the play of Obi run in, push the other Obi away. Really good play there. I think he's and also wounding Rex too. So yeah, that was a much better play than what I would have considered. And he will score 3 points here. So here we have a priority roll for... So we'll have a priority roll here for Judge. I think it looks like some discussion, perhaps. Judge is pointing. He's looking at the ARFs. He's like, what are these ARFs about? What do these guys do? This is the ARFs for everyone at home wondering. Very solid unit. Very, very solid unit. We have not we did not roll priority. Which I'm sure they will figure out shortly. Or are they undoing something? It looks like they're undoing everything. What are we undoing? Looks like there has been a mistake of some kind. No, sorry. My apologies. I don't know what they were doing. But they did miss the priority roll. They did miss priority roll. And Rex has been drawn. Yeah. Rex has been drawn. Sorry, everyone. Got a little confused there. It looks like Rex is trying to... Oh, right, okay. So he just leaves with 2 successes. Okay. So I thought he was making things difficult for me, but he was actually making things easier. So just 2 successes on Rex, and he's just going to go push, and take this point back. Which, according to how the board currently sits, is going to score him 2 points. But given that he did not roll priority, I wonder if they're going to pick that up. I don't think it changes too much of your... take cover. Did they miss priority roll here, or did they roll it off out of the box? So it lands back in the center. So it looks good for Tom still. The score tracker is definitely still in his favor. You need to keep that up, though. You can't just rest on your laurels. You cannot get complacent, because one big turn... So that back point, Tom's feeling very good about that. But we have 3 living bodies? No, 2 living bodies on this midpoint here. Top mid. And we've drawn the... No, we haven't drawn anything. Tom's weighing up options. He's got his smorgasbord. He knows Annie's on the bottom. He's got Commandos, Shatterpoint, which was the next thing I was going to say. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for waiting. Okay, so Shatterpoint here. Who do we Shatterpoint? Anakin probably feels good. Just in terms of raw attrition. But he doesn't quite take a point for you, and that's really what you need. Ahsoka feels good. These ARFs... no, they're alive, and they have the hunker token. So maybe Ahsoka doesn't feel good. Yeah, she doesn't feel very good at all. You need to take this point, but you need to get 2 bodies on there. What's the... Maybe Rex. Rex is probably the best. Rex can actually get you... He can get you this point here. With his get a move on soldier, allowing him to bring that clone trooper back up. Sorry, the ARF trooper back up. And then bringing Rex in. That'll give you 3 on this point, and you'll just automatically take it. You can then shoot Rex. Yeah, so I think that's what we're going for. I think we are going for Captain Rex bringing the ARF trooper up. You just have to. The thing I'm really loving about Shatterpoint is it's not about punching. It's not about the damage on the board. It's just about scoring those points, positioning, getting things there. So yep, very good. Yeah, so he allows him to get that hunker token, get that heal. Now the ARFs are looking a little happier. So we're just going to go for a ranged shot here into Plo Koon. Ignoring deflect. We don't care about deflect. He's going to spend the force to... Sorry. No, we're going into Captain Rex, sorry. And we're spending the force to expose, which has brought a bit of value there. So we just got 2 successes. Rex 2 just adds 2. So we're going to get 3 through, which is beautifully average. That's what you can expect from a secondary most of the time. 3 successes. And we're going for the pushy. We're going the push, and double heal. So his double heal... Where is Rex now? Yeah. You just heal 1 off the ARF. Doesn't quite get to Obi. Yeah, all you can do really is just heal 1 off the ARF. Follow up. Looks good. Yeah, this is the play from Tom, I think. This is how you score this back. There was into Plo Koon, so he was able to get 4 damage into Plo, which always feels nice. Doesn't always stick around. He does have those heals pretty early on his tree. On 2 here on the Form 3 Surisu. Looks good. Curious to see how Judge will bring this one back. I think the priority roll is going to really determine where he puts his effort in. But it looks like Tom's feeling pretty confident about this side. On his side here, he's now got 2 living, 1 dead on this back point. And we're going to take cover here, I presume, and that will allow him to heal the final... Oh, sorry, heal 1 off Rex. Yeah, fair enough. I do think he missed... No, he didn't. He should have had double heal there, so I'm curious to see if that was maybe I was wrong. We did have so it's the same one still. So it's actually been this back point on Tom's side 3 times in a row, which, you know, you really can't blame dice. But yeah, that does frustrate you. It's hard not to get a little tilted when it's like, all right, it's that back one again, the one that he's got pretty well locked down right now. But we get the Commandos, who, with some shots, can come and take it. No, they don't have pushes. That's the worst thing about them. If you can get to that lucky 5 successes, you'll get a full reposition, but So yeah, goes for a climb. I still don't think... Oh, defensive maneuver? Yeah, what am I talking about? Defensive. Oh, it's close. It's close. Maybe closer than he'd like, but I think it's okay. Let's bring that in. So we've got the clone commandos here. They're hoping that after they do their shots, which I'm assuming, gearing up to do now, they're gearing up for these shots. They're going to take some shots into... Oh, you probably don't want to shoot Obi-Wan. Probably want to put some shots into the ARF troopers, but then they can reposition. No, this one's too far away to really do anything of value. So I missed that. Did he actually land it? He must have. No, he misses it. So it's not even guaranteed that this one will get it, but he does. Yeah, he gets it. So it's got 2v2 here. Without any pushes from the clone commandos, they're just going to have to try and kill the ARFs. Oh, okay. Oh, they're not going to attack. They're just going to take cover. Right. Yep. That makes a lot more sense than what I was talking about. See, like I said, my monkey brain says, hey, attack. Do a shoot. So we're going to roll. Tom's rolling in the box. It is this middle point, it seems. So, very lucky there was a 33% chance of him hitting that one, and that's the one he wanted to hit. The draw here, I mean, Obi-Wan is probably well positioned to just simply take... How many hits? He's only got one push, and they are hunkered. It's going to be hard for him. He has to reinforce it. He probably wants the commandos just to sort of guarantee he's going to take it. He does have... Sorry, everyone. He does have... The clones have not activated yet. He's activated Padawan Ahsoka. It's Padawan Ahsoka, the ARFs. He's going with Obi-Wan. Yeah, I think Obi-Wan, if he can kill the... Which he can do actually quite easily. He'll just take it. And that's probably the play you make here. You hello there, which I think he has done. We'll see. He's going to roll 9 dice. 11 dice. Not sure where that's coming from. I know I've rolled 11 dice with him before. Hello there, and what? Why 11 dice? Maybe someone in chat can tell me 11 dice. Why 11 dice? 2 and 3. 3 is a reposition, I believe. Yep, 3 is 1 and a reposition. So we just block 3. 1 on Obi. So 7, 3, that's 4 successes. 4 successes, I think, is enough, right? 3, 4, that's 7, which is exactly what he needed. 7 there. So you can see he goes middle, down, middle again, and then down. That's 4 plus 3, 7. I can do math. That will kill them, which you'd expect from a primary. You'd really want a primary to be able to just knock out a... which is where a lot of people believe Plo Koon struggles a little bit. He cannot one-shot a primary nearly as simply as Obi-Wan can, or any other primary for that matter. If you can get 7 in 3, you're feeling good. 7 in 3 feels good. Excuse me. Still not sure why Tom rolled 11 there, and I'm sure he's going to listen back to this and go, "You're an idiot. This is why I rolled 11." And I'm going to be like, "I'm so sorry. I embarrassed us on the stream." I'd never embarrass us on the podcast. Never. So, looks like Tom wins second struggle. So, feeling good for Tom there. The slug zone Tom. Oh, so good. Did that first shot. Got the right one. So, Tom is sitting pretty now. Sitting right next to Judge. If we're looking at board positioning here, and Judge gets to decide, he's giving Tom this back one here. We've got one in no man's land here. Everyone's abandoned. The bottom middle here. And we get the one that is pretty comfortably sitting with Judge here. So we're basically going to have, I was going to say, assuming he doesn't draw, he really only needed only the clones or Padawan Ahsoka could really take this one. Ask's probably not quite what you want to see here. And both sides are running dangerously low on force. Yeah, He spends that force. He's got no force left. 0 force. And we get the Shatterpoint. So, priority roll, he's already getting that. You probably just want to come and take this. But I don't know who you send. It does feel we've got a lot bunched in the middle there and a lot towards the top. We've got a big investment in both of those areas. It's going to be hard for either player really to come down and take this comfortably. The Clone Commandos are in the best physical position, but they're definitely not in the best condition to go and take it because they just disappear off the board. They are double. They have a wound and an injury currently. So we did go with Ahsoka, which is probably good. I think I like that, bringing Plo Koon up to reinforce there. Just jumping straight across the gap here and taking that one. And if you like this map, actually, the map, the wonderful gentleman who designed this map, who is currently #1 in the world at Shatterpoint, will actually be on episode 1 of the Space Slugs Shatterpoint podcast, which we'll be releasing in the next 10 or so days, maybe earlier. It'll be released in the first week of January. So search Space Slugs on your favorite platform of choice, and you will find our wonderful podcast. So simply a move here from Judge. He's just simply gone, I'm going to move, and I'm going to take that point. So we get a priority roll. Tom's able to secure his priority roll here. His one over here, which I think Judge is looking really strong up in this back right corner. The afts are untouched. That gives a really good area of difficulty for Tom to overcome, because that coordinated fire with the expose is so strong. So strong. So Tom here now is debating. I'm wondering if he's debating whether or not to run with Rex here, because it looks like Rex has been what he's drawn. In the tank, we still have Anakin, who's on the bottom. So we know Anakin's not next. I believe we know next is going to be the Clone Commandos. I believe the Clone Commandos are up next for Tom, because Padawan Ahsoka was our first cab off the rank. Just doing some measuring here for Tom. He's wondering if he can get Padawan Ahsoka and Rex up on that point to then, assuming push Plo Koon off or push the ARF troopers off. Both feel good. And he's wondering, his Clone Commandos, they're not going to be able to do it. He has to take that point. He has to take a point. His Clone Commandos could... No, they're just not. They're not going to have the distance. Now, this Clone Commando's in a bit of no man's land over here. He has to go with Rex here. He doesn't really have many options. Yeah, he's going to have to go with Rex. Curious on the... He's wondering if he gives himself... That's still not quite going to get you there. His Rex is wounded, so it is going to cost 2 force to do a defensive maneuver, which I think is what he's weighing up here. Do I defensive maneuver out? Do a full advance? So he's going to give Ahsoka this. So he's giving Ahsoka the get a move on soldier. Obviously correct. That puts 2 in contention here. So he's done his measuring. Has he gotten it correct? Spends the 2 force. We're going for a get a move on soldier. Get a move on soldier. That's my impression. Brings himself just tippity tight outside of range dos. And has he measured correctly? Yes, he has. Presuming you go into or... Oh, okay. He's going for a shot. Taking a damage, shooting Plo Koon. Someone later can tell me what the damage is for. No expose. 3 is pretty good. That's 2 crits for Tom there. So that's going to be a total of 3 crits for Tom. 3 blocks. So 3 crits is pretty much just what you get shooting into Plo Koon here. Curious why he went for the shot first, given he's going to do the pushes. I guess you don't want to go into melee. But why not? Interesting. Because he can't follow up. Because if he follows up, he'll go into... okay, is Captain Rex... No, Captain Rex is not. Yeah, sorry. I thought Captain Rex was wounded, he's not. I guess he got 2 pushes here, so he can just... so he's going to do 2 pushes and some heal. Did he roll any fails? No, he didn't roll any fails. So no, not even a deflect. So now we're going to... Yep, we're going to knock Plo off the perch here, and he'll take that point. So yeah, I think he had to play Rex here. It's very good that he still had Rex in play, because Rex is one of those pieces that can get you... He can move more than one piece. Something you really should be valuing, I think, when you're building a squad is looking at, especially a secondary, I find, looking at them and saying, how many points in an ideal world, or on average, how many objectives can I take with this character in one turn? And in an ideal world, even on an average world, you can always take 1 with Rex, because he can bring almost anyone in your squad, if you've built it correctly, to have Galactic Republic, a full Galactic Republic squad. You can get 2 characters in on a single point. So that does even the score here. That brings us straight into the center point, and that gives us some momentum. Looking pretty even right now. So we get that back right point. So it looks like a bit of a bloodbath is going to be happening up there. Who have we still got left? There's 1 character left in here. I think it's Obi-Wan. Oh no, he still has the ARFs to activate as well. Well, the ARFs aren't too bad, because the ARFs are going to be able to get a push on 2. Rex is hunkered, so you're not pushing Rex. And Ahsoka can always spend a hunker and move. Yeah, tough call. I do think it's Obi-Wan who's just... He can take this point over here, and that'll give you 2 points. But can he though? I think he can, yeah, because he can just one-shot these ARFs if needs be. But he has no force to spend either, so he's just rolling flat dice. He's not getting any hello there's. Hello there. None of that. And none of that. It's a really tough spot, I think, for both players here, but definitely for Judge right now. Tough call. I wish I could find out what this is. I want to know. I want to know what this is. We'll find out next turn, because we are going with the ARFs. I don't think the ARFs are in a position to be able to take this. Someone could correct me if they think I'm wrong, but Padawan Ahsoka, 2 hunker tokens, untouched. Well, I suppose he could push Rex off, but Rex is brother-in-arms, so that's not happening. And he can just spend a hunker and climb back up anyway. So I am curious to see what Judge's decision, like what his internal decision tree looked like here on this turn in particular, because I think, and it does, obviously we're missing a pivotal piece here because I'm too simple to remember what this card might be. If anyone in chat has been paying more attention than myself, please let me know what you think this last card is. It's not Shatterpoint. It's not Ahsoka. It might be Ahsoka. You know what? I actually think it is Padawan Ahsoka, who he absolutely would not want to activate here, so his decision makes perfect sense. So he's almost certainly not taking this point this turn, just simply because Padawan Ahsoka can spend and return. And especially with that, because she gets a free jump. She gets a free jump off of that. So I think we're going for a second shot here. First shot being ineffectual. This shot adding 1. So 3 and 3 crits. Whoa. It feels pretty good for Tom, I think. Yeah, that jump. The jump is the key here. He's going to take damage. There's nothing he can do about that. But the jump... so how many... He's getting 3 through, actually, which is pretty spicy for... oh, the pin. The pin stops the jump. But yeah, Tom is able to just spend 2 hunker tokens, heal the expose, heal the damage, and come back in. Yeah, so that was sort of why I understand. I think Judge was in a hard place. He was either activate the ARFs and I guess do some damage, or activate Pasoka and do literally nothing because you step off this point. The Clone Commandos are coming up next, I think, for Tom. And then he's just going to take this point. So another 66% chance there for Tom to get that, and he's probably very happy. So Clone Commandos, I was correct. I want that noted. I was absolutely correct that they were next for Tom. I'm wondering if Pasoka is this one here, and if it is, ouch. Yeah, it looks like he is. He's going to go for sweet little Padawan Ahsoka, shooting a 12-year-old girl. Big man, Tom. Big man. I just don't like that Clone Commander being all the way up over here. He's not bringing a lot of value right now. Obviously now he's going to, because he's probably going to take some shots into... their Clone Commander is going to die anyway. Probably... Ooh, maybe just go punch Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, just go punch Obi-Wan. It's no harm really in it. So he's going to take cover first. Yep, take cover. Punch Obi-Wan. May as well. No harm in it. The reason I say no harm in it is because So Uncivilized only works in ranged attacks. And his Obi-Wan does not have a hunker, so no spending to run away. Okay, so Tom is essentially giving up that bottom objective here, and he is going to make sure he keeps this objective. So he's going to go for the punch first. Could be a nothing burger. Whoa, so only 2 blocks. 3 expertise on the Clone Commandos is 2 crits, which will go through. So the crits go through, which is 2 damage and a pin on Obi-Wan. 2 damage and a pin on Obi-Wan. Oh, he's got no force. He's got no force, so Uncivilized actually is not going to do anything. So am I crazy? There's 2 damage on a pin on Obi-Wan there, right? 3 gives 2 blocks and a crit to a fail. So, yeah, I think a nothing as well. And advantage is currently sitting in Tom's favour. So it was Pasoka. I was correct. That is really unfortunate for Judge. I guess depending on priority here. Yeah, priority lands with you, which is good. You want that. So, yeah, she can bring Plo Koon back towards the fight here, but I think, yeah, you just abandon the post here. You're going to score the 2 points, but you just have to do something. You have to start manipulating the rest of the board. She can't stand there and do nothing. She can't stand there and do nothing. So, really good play here, I believe. The Commandos are pinned, but it doesn't really make too much of a problem when they can spend the hunker and do a dash. They won't be able to get... So I'm interested to see why Tom brought the Commando back. Because I think if he'd left him where he was, there's a chance he might have been able to go and take this bottom point here from Pasoka, but obviously things would play differently with the board looking different. So really good roll here for Pasoka for a crit and 1. And I believe 1 will give her 2 damage. So, sorry, two successes. So 6 successes and a crit. We get 1 block, and the Commandos with 3 get another block. And so they'll block 2. So 5 successes going in for Padawan Ahsoka. I don't think that's quite enough. Oh, she does have a reposition on 2 anyway. But yeah, that's only 6. It's only 6 damage, which just isn't enough to take the Clone Commandos out. unless I'm missing something. Oh, they were already pinned. My apologies. They were already pinned. So a single pin, she doesn't give. I guess I'm just missing stuff. Maybe they already had a damage on them. I think they already had a damage on them. Sorry, everyone. They did already have a damage on them. So that is the Clone Commandos now dead. Both Clone Commandos on both sides are dead to rights. All right, so sorry, Tom's side. He knows it's Anakin. That's why he's measuring things now. Anakin is 100% the only card left in the deck. There's no Force on Tom's side, but I will say sorry guys, just a brief distraction for me. So we do have Anakin. Obviously, there was only the only choice left for Tom. He's got no Force. Judge does have Force, but that doesn't really make a huge difference in terms of what Tom's going to do here. He's just going to go whack with a big stick, try and do some damage. So Tom is rolling aggressively. We get 3 and an expertise on... So there's 1 crit going down and another. So 4 blocks and a crit going to a fail. So that's 1 crit to a fail on Tom's side. Sorry, yep. And then he adds 2 more crits. So we pretty much end up with 2 crits going through. That's essentially the math there. And then Tom reshuffles, scores some points. So it's 5 damage actually into Obi-Wan, which never feels very nice. So Obi-Wan's 7 damage here. Okay. So we've drawn Plo Koon again. That is massive for Judge here. Getting Plo Koon there, huge. And that's twice now, I think he's been able to get Plo Koon very early after a reshuffle. And in the final struggle, that's really what you want. You just want to be getting your heavy hitters in there, manipulating the board, making changes. And he's pretty much guaranteed now to take that and score 3 points this turn. And possibly gain some momentum too. Given that Ahsoka is pretty hurt. But as I said earlier, he can get 6 in 3, which is pretty good. That's enough to take Ahsoka out. She's on 8. She's got 2 damage already. So if you can get in 3 there, 7 dice would be 5 on average. You should be able to take her down. She doesn't have a hunker token, so it's just raw dice. So this is into Ahsoka, I believe. Oh, not what you want to see, but not much you can do about that. Yeah, really... Well, interesting. So 1 block... 1 expertise is just a crit. So that's 4 successes, which is the magic number for Plo. That's a push. A force push. It's a force push and a wound. So the little Ahsoka that could, now can't. She is wounded. And this is a big swing here this turn. But that's what happens, right? You draw your primary. And if you've brought a good primary, that brings a lot of value. And yeah, look at that. So 2-0. On the point, just from Plo Koon's activation, really powerful. We've still yet to see, unfortunately for Tom, he's going to hate me saying it, but unfortunately, we just haven't seen a lot of value from Anakin. I think both scenarios that Anakin has activated, you would have rather have just had Plo Koon, really. So that's not to poo-poo Tom's squad building here. This is obviously a very good squad. It's got him to top 4, and the fact that he's brought Anakin all the way to top 4, impressive in its own right. But I think that Plo Koon is just bringing more. He's just bringing more value. Anakin can swing a game, definitely, but Tom, yeah, this is bad. That priority roll there, bringing it down there, feel like that's gonna lock Tom out because yeah, he can go take it quite easily. With Obi-Wan even also. but he's going to, put Obi-Wan in reserve. Heals Obi-Wan. He doesn't need to get on the elevation. He just needs to get below it. So, he brings Obi-Wan back. He wants Obi-Wan there to reinforce that point because he cannot give it up. Oh, Rex is not really what we wanted to see for Tom. I think, dash from the clone trooper. It's a commando, it's dead anyway. Yeah. Maybe Obi-Wan was the play there, but the ARFs are alive, so the ARFs would have retained this, but then they probably take it back next turn. Yeah. Rex on Judge's side is also alive, so he's not going to be slow. He will be, slowing down Tom's Captain Rex. So he's going to get a move on Soldier, defensive maneuver perhaps. He's trying to see if he can maybe climb that ladder, do a full move, do a hunker. So do a take cover. It's not impossible. Yeah, I don't know the maths on it, but is it 2 dashes? Yeah, no, he will never let me commentate again. He said he said I could only give him praise. Those were his notes. He said, give me praise or shut up. And I said, you know what, Tom? I don't answer to you, mate. You are not the Emperor. You are an Anakin player, and that means that you don't know what you're doing. He's going to love that. So Tom is deciding. Man, I know he's got his reasons for. I mean, you want to get the value out of the Obi-Wan trigger, but man, he needed to take that bottom point this turn, I think, to keep himself in the game. He's giving up a lot, obviously, committing Obi-Wan there, but the only other draw here that would have been really good for him, I think, would have been the Clone Commandos. Unfortunately, he did not get the Clone Commandos. So we're going with Rex. Rex is going to defensive maneuver. Sorry, get a move on Soldier himself. I believe this is a defensive maneuver. That's not going to get him up that ladder, which is really what he wanted. So he's now... Okay, so he's thinking defensive maneuver. Yeah, so defensive maneuver. You've got to use everything you've got. I still don't think it's going to be enough, though. But I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. So he's going to climb that ladder. Gives him a little bit more space. So that was a defensive maneuver there. He's still going to move, but no more actions after this. Someone's clicking around something here. No! My TTS seems to have frozen. I think it has. Sorry guys, I can hear movement, but I have to close TTS and bring it back up again. Such a pivotal moment. I'm so frustrated. How annoying. Dang you, TTS. You beautiful vixen. Sorry, guys. I'll give you the Be Right Back screen just because it's better than a black screen. Just as a reminder, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're with us live here on Twitch, please give us a follow. A subscription would be, we're not going to complain. We'd celebrate. But a follow is the bare minimum you could do for us. It really helps us feel loved. It helps us know that you guys want more and gives us the inspiration we need. The move to touch the point. Yeah, I think it's going to be very close. We're going to see. It's loading in now. I'll bring us back to the main game here. You guys can't see it for some reason. Oh, there we go. Yep, she's back. All right, excuse me while I load back in. Did Sexy Rexy get there? I think... Oh, it would have been close. Sorry, everything's going to look a little strange as it all loads in. So Rex did get it. So, yeah, well done, Duralva. Well done. You did call it. I suspected he may get there. Oh, he can get to the ladder and climb down the ladder. Okay, so priority token is on... Lucky for Tom is on Tom's side. But I think Judge firmly has this one. Not firmly, but I think he's... If you look at the momentum, things are looking pretty good for Judge here. So we've activated his clone commandos. This is their last activation. He'll be able to... Anakin's on the point. The Arfs are on the point. No, the Arfs are dead. So you've got only 2 on the point here. I think he will take this. I think he will take it pretty concisely. So we've got Judge's Republic Commandos. So the Arfs weren't dead. The Arfs are currently living. I think there might have been maybe a mistake with their current status. So this is where the Arfs... so 3 expertise just gives us 2. So we get 3 blocks to... this is Rex. So 1 success for Rex. So that's either a push or 2 push and damage or 2 damage. If I'm doing my math correctly. Sorry, that wasn't Rex. That was the Commandos, sorry. So this Commandos... So 2... Yeah, gives them a crit. So there was 2 successes, sorry. Which we used for... I'm very confused now. I actually don't know what's going on. I'm playing catch-up. I'll cut myself some slack and playing catch-up. So it's on the Arfs. I think the Arfs possibly live here. I think they do live. So it was the Commandos shooting in. The Commandos... 2 damage and a pin. So... Right. So they are gone. He did take that point back. Oh, it's tight. It's very tight for... I don't see a way Tom... He has to win pretty much this turn. Or a miracle. So that's good. That's step 1. He needs Anakin. Oh! I said it, and it came true. So Anakin is the one who can win this, and the reason I say that is if Anakin, I think he can win. I haven't actually done the full math yet, but he can move the struggle token an extra space. So by wounding a primary or secondary unit. So that's why Tom went into Obi-Wan Kenobi. So Tom could win it here. All he has to do is wound Obi-Wan Kenobi. He'll move 1, 2, and then he'll score 3. This is massive, and he gets 2 shots at this as well. Important to remember. This is it here. This is where Tom could prove the true value of Anakin Skywalker. So he gets 4, which is 3 crits. Which is 3 crits, which gives him, I think, enough. Yeah, that's 5, 7. Good game, yeah. Well done to both players. That was an incredible match, honestly. I think we saw Plo Koon had the value, as I'd said before, right? Plo Koon has the value in the long game. Yeah, Morgan in chat there. Anakin for the win. Yeah, let me just update this here. I'm going to get Tom in here, obviously, to chat. Because, you know, I personally do know him. Oh, sorry, put that away. Yeah, there we go. So I think the guys are just having a chat now, which they are more than welcome to do. But yeah, as I was saying, sorry, Plo Koon is a sort of unit that you can get long value for, right? He can do those sort of big turns that he did. He did at least twice over the long game. But if you put Anakin in the position and you get that luck, a little bit of luck on your side, and you do get that ability, as we were talking about the this is where the fun begins. Oh yeah, you are going to find value. And I think, I'm going to ask Tom the question, did he feel that Anakin brought value? And I think it's very easy to say here now that Anakin did, because he quite literally won the game But I think Tom did a really good idea. He brought Anakin over here. That was what that sort of initial spot damage into Obi-Wan was for. It was to set up for this exact scenario. So I think it was good foreplanning there from Tom. But I feel like Judge really had he had some really good control on the board for a lot of the game. That Plo Koon just able to throw characters 3 in a direction is just so strong. So it really did feel like Tom had his back against the wall here, because I did feel like Plo Koon found value easier than Anakin Skywalker, but obviously Tom, the stars aligned, the Star Wars aligned, and here we are. Yeah, we'll never, ever, ever hear the end of this. So, yeah, sorry, I'm just going to see if Tom wants to jump in to a chat, jump into Discord and just have a chat and see if... he's now in the finals as well, just FYI. He is in the finals. Morgan, if you're still here, have you had your top 4 game yet? I'm not sure if you had your top 4 game yet. All right. Just telling Tom now to Discord me, so that we can. Yep. So see if Tom is happy to jump in Discord. We can just chat, see what he thinks, see if he's going to crack a beer. I'm assuming he'll crack a beer. Tom's a bit of an alcoholic. Morgan won the whole thing. What did he win? Oh, okay, yeah. Tom's still just debriefing with Judge. So we'll give him some time. But yeah, wow. What a game. This was, I think Tom was actually saying this was the first time we've ever seen Anakin on the Slugs stream. And what a showing. He really is the chosen one. Okay, it's a weird format where top-placed player for each zone goes into top 4. Interesting. I have not actually been paying attention to this league. I'm not going to lie. Tom has, so he obviously knows. Okay, cool. Right. Yep, Morgan is champion of the world. It is what it is. And if you want to hear how the champion of the world likes to think about the game, please make sure you check out the Space Slugs episode 1 coming the first week of January on our podcast. Excuse me, sorry. Like I said before, I had a chili at dinner, like a straight up chili, and it is, oh man, not happy. All right, so, sorry, totally forgot. We have a new, so that is not the winner. Let me just quickly adjust that.
You preemptively put up the winner.
No, I put up myself. I'm the winner.
Oh.
Because I forgot to change it. All right, we'll call you the TheHarpDaddy.
Okay.
The TheHarpDaddy. All right, Tom, you are currently live, so please don't say anything. Please don't just say the horrid things you normally say behind closed doors.
No, yeah, of course.
So the winner
thanks
is...
so much for streaming that game.
The TheHarpDaddy. Yeah, so we did have... we had one meltdown. From my laptop, but we're back. We're here. So, Tom... Do you think, and it's such a bad question to ask you now after that, do you think that Anakin or Plo Koon had more value in that game?
Plo Koon, for sure. But did Plo Koon win the game?
No.
If I didn't have Anakin in that last struggle, I would have lost, I think. So there's the value of Anakin, I guess. Yeah, we had calculated that the only way for you to win in that last turn was Anakin. And you probably lost if you didn't draw Anakin, and you drew Anakin. So, that's just the nature of this game, right? Your squad building puts you in a position to be able to have that play available to you. And the gods went, okay, here you go. Yeah. So there were a few other things going through my head. I was sad that he drew the commandos. If I didn't draw Anakin there, I was in a position to put a model, potentially a commando of my own, on the platform to the top right where Rex was, in terms of he was on the floor. And that would hopefully allow me to cement some of my position. The top left-hand side where the double clones were and Plo was, that was gone.
Yeah, that was a really great play from Judge, I think. Just that was the value of Plo again, where, as I was saying on stream before, Plo finds value multiple times throughout the game. Anakin, you bring Anakin because you're hoping to get a little bit of luck on your side and just get that spike value, which you got and showcased perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't want to say I got lucky, but I think the draw card obviously helped there a lot. I've identified a major mistake in my approach to the game, which was in struggle number 1. I'm not entirely sure if you guys remember, but Captain Rex, in his first activation, I think it was with a Shatterpoint or something similar.
Yeah.
He ended up taking cover and essentially moved too close to Plo Koon. That made 2 big problems for me. It meant that Plo Koon could take cover and swing into combat, which was bad for me. But it also meant that the ARF troopers could expose my Commander Rex off of a activation move from Plo with his "we can do this the easy way" or whatever it's called. So that was that was a major mistake that I identified, because my whole sort of game plan going into this was to prevent Plo, or at least Plo or Ahsoka, Padawan, from getting a hunker token, because then they couldn't escape Anakin's double tap. So unfortunately, that was a big shot in the foot. So I felt back-footed for the first struggle for sure.
Yeah, I think that I noted that, and I feel like Judge he had the grip for a lot of it, for a lot of the match. It did feel like he was putting pieces. He was a lot more aggressive early. I noted that a lot of his models had come a lot further across the board than yours had. But I think that did set you up for a really great struggle 2. Struggle 2 felt very much your game for most of it. He definitely made you work for it, but it definitely felt like you had the steering wheel there. But then the struggle 3, I felt like Plo was really leveraging Plo. I think he, if we're going to talk about luck and the order deck, he got Plo early both reshuffles, which really helped him swing on a pivotal turn. And I think your Anakin play wouldn't have worked if you hadn't preemptively brought Anakin in and just positioned yourself to strike Obi-Wan. Like you put Anakin in a spot where he could do what he did. And I think that was some really good foresight from you in knowing, all right, I'm only going to do 5 damage or whatever to Obi-Wan here, and I'm not really going to change the board state much. But if you hadn't done that, Obi-Wan probably lives on that attack, and you have to maybe swing again and hope, that you get it on the second swing. So I think that was really good position play from you, and I kept saying we weren't seeing value from Anakin, and then here he was at the end.
Well, that's the thing. He only needs to do that once, right?
Yep.
And that's why I love Anakin. And it's also the board presence as well. I do think that is a tricky matchup for Anakin. The Obi-Wan hunker train is really brutal, as is the displacement and all of the board control that Plo has and brings, not only with his force push, but also with his trooper move. That was it was great. I mean, Judge Assault played that beautifully, I think. I probably didn't do some target priority into his ARF troopers, but there was a lot of times where I had the opportunity to attack, but I knew that would essentially make my problems worse by a cheeky reposition or a movement off of the hunker shirk from Obi. And I just thought, I just can't do this, right? And, the whole notion is that you want to chip damage and then have a big swing with Anakin. And I don't feel like I was in a position to do that until the mid to end of Struggle 2. And then that set me up for big swings in Struggle 3. And the reason, you've said it, there were a few things. I knew that Ahsoka was going to go later on. I knew that he had, I think it was the ARF troopers and Ahsoka at the end of Struggle 2, or at the end of his second deck rotation, essentially. And that would essentially mean that no one could have force because he was out of force, which meant that usually people aren't going to get hunker tokens. And the top left-hand side, where Ahsoka was already wounded and Rex was heavily displaced, that was essentially, I was in trouble there already, right? So I just thought abandon ship and come down into the center and the right of the board, where I can probably have the most amount of units, noting that his commanders were just about to die, and that helped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think on the ARF trooper issue, you noted that you didn't do a lot of target priority on the ARF troopers. You didn't really have them much early. They activated. I think they were the last in his first deck rotation to activate. But he was with Plo Koon. This is again the value of Plo Koon here. With Plo Koon, he was able to bring them in far enough. Two things. His towards the end of Struggle 1, he had a great play where he moved both ARF troopers into a position where they were handing out the expose, and they were also ready to block you off from taking his side's objectives moving into Struggle 2. So that was actually, I think that was one of his best plays, was he got he activated Plo Koon, moved those 2 ARF troopers, and then they were active. They were exposing, and they were causing problems in the center of the board, which was a really great play from him. I think he did bring them to bear in a really smart way where they were never a wise choice for you to shoot. And I think that's tough about the Obi v Obi matchup is, yeah, you can shoot me and then I can move, but if I shoot you, you're also going to move. So it's never going to be a combat-heavy game. It's not going to be a shooting each other and using pushes to get it, because there wasn't a huge amount of that in the game. It felt like it was more about getting in melee and taking someone down, and just getting your guys in a position on your own and getting ready to use those hunkers to move. There wasn't a lot of pushing that happened, especially because so many of the units have steadfast as well, so they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, the main amount of displacement came from Plo Koon, really.
Yeah, and man, that is crazy.
It's so good, isn't it?
That is so crazy. He can, realistically, in a perfect scenario, he could really take 3 different objectives in one activation.
Oh yeah, big time.
Which is really, yeah, that's not common. So, any last thoughts you want to give? Any celebration you want to have, Tom, here while you've got the mic?
Yeah, definitely. Look, massive thank you to Judge Assault for that game. It was amazing fun, and I made a new friend. We had a really, really good time playing. Very casual, fun, I guess intense competitive game though. And yeah, can't wait to play him again in the future, and I wish him all the best in Italy with his Shatterpoint local community. I also want to just quickly take a moment to thank out the Zion's Finest group. They gave us a glowing review in their most recent podcast. So go check them out. And thank you so much for the suggestions to come and check out our content as well.
Yeah, please, guys. And just as a last reminder, if you're watching on YouTube, give us a subscribe, give us a like, leave a comment. If you're on Twitch right now and you're not following us, why not? I don't understand. Just give us a follow. It doesn't cost you anything. And then you'll get to know when we go live, and you can come watch more amazing games of Star Wars Shatterpoint. If you want to subscribe, feel free. You don't have to. Sorry, on Twitch. You do have to on YouTube. It's actually a law. But feel free to follow us here. Check out our Discord. A link I am going to drop in 2 seconds into the chat. I should have done that earlier, but it just hit me then. So I'll give you guys a link to the Discord. Jump in there. Let us know what you thought of this stream. Let us know what you thought of the game. Let us know what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of. Tom on stream, probably. But yeah, thanks, Tom, for letting us stream a very nail-biting game for you.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much for streaming, Cameron. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Hopefully my laptop, I'm just going to beat it off screen and hope that it stops playing up and being silly, but hopefully we can do some more streaming in the future. And thank you for playing. Thank you to Judge Assault for a really incredible game. And yeah, catch us on YouTube if you want to rewatch, guys. Check it out on YouTube. Thanks. Bye.